Hey, this is Shaily and you're watching Eat Breathe Books. Hey everyone, I hope that you're having a good week so far and you're staying healthy and safe. I wanted to come on today and talk about the books that I completed in April. There are a couple of books that I'm still in the middle of. I'm still reading The Royal We by Heather Cox and Jessica Morgan, and I'm still reading Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. But there are 4 books that I'm proud to say I've completed. I feel like April is usually a good reading month for me. I just, for some reason, get a lot more time to read. So without further ado, let's dive in. First book that I finished in April is The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. This book is about a girl named Andy who is the daughter of a senator, and she's 17, and this takes place during the summer before her senior year of high school. And she really wants to be a doctor, and she's all set to go on this great medical program at Johns Hopkins University, and then a scandal happens with her dad, who, like I said, works for the government, and her recommendation letter gets pulled by someone, and she can't go to she can't go to the program anymore, and now she's stuck at home all summer with her dad, who isn't working either because of the scandal. And she and her dad have been estranged, sort of. I mean, living in the same house but not close for the last 5 years since her mom passed away. And so this summer turns into a time for the two of them to reconnect. Plus she gets this kind of odd job of walking dogs, which is definitely something that she didn't expect, the unexpected everything. And she's also the type of girl that doesn't get close to guys. After 3 weeks, she always dumps them. So this is also a love story, and it's definitely very much a friendship story too. The things I really enjoyed about this book were the romance. Hold for plane. There are a lot of aspects of this book I really enjoyed. First of all, I really loved getting to read about Andy and her father reconnecting. I think Morgan Matson did a really great job of just showing how awkward and tense they are in the beginning, and how they don't really know each other very well, and how Andy's been sort of raised by nannies the past couple of years and isn't really used to having a parental figure, telling her to be home by a certain time, and just kind of how to live her life a little bit. And it's weird for him also, the dad, because he hasn't really been close to his daughter in a while, even though they used to be close when they were little, and he's not focusing on work now, he's now focusing on family. So getting to see their arcs during the story was really, really interesting and felt very genuine. Morgan Matson's definitely great at writing in the teenage voice. I also really enjoyed the whole friendship aspect. It was really fun getting to read about a group of girlfriends that are really close. It's always fun to read about. And of course the love story was really great. The guy that she's into during this book is actually a famous author who's struggling to write the 3rd novel in his series, sort of. And so that's really interesting as a writer, just getting to read about a writer. So overall, I really, really enjoyed this book. There's one thing that happened towards the end that I didn't fully agree with, but I don't think it took away from the magic of the book. I do think that that was Morgan Matson's choice, and I respect it, and it was okay. So yeah, I do recommend this. The next book I read is by Queen Colleen Hoover. If you guys have watched my channel before, you know that I love introducing her that way. Queen Colleen Hoover has done it yet again with Regretting You. This book is told in dual POV between a mother who's 34 and her 17-year-old daughter, and the chapters alternate between the two. And after the family suffers a tragedy, people from the mom's past, one person from the mom's past comes back and makes her question just the way that she's been living her life, and her daughter is dealing with grief, but also all the very teenagery things, and the boy that she falls for is so perfectly imperfect. Colleen really, really excels, and especially in this novel, at just writing people full of flaws. Oh gosh, and you feel the feelings that they feel in the story. You can feel her falling for him. You could feel the guilt that characters experience when they make a mistake. You can feel the fear that they have at taking chances. Tearjerker, made me giggle, all the feels. There's so many things about Colleen Hoover that are just so magnificent, and I still need to read her book Verity, which is more of a thriller, so I'm very excited for that. And I'm so excited for Heartbones, which I think comes out in August. So I can't say enough good things about this book. You can tell by the grin on my face. I highly recommend Colleen Hoover's work, and I love, 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 love Regretting You. I read 2 books by Emma Mills. The first one is This Adventure Ends, and this story is about a girl named Sloane who's in her senior year of high school, and she and her family moved to a different town where they typically vacation over the summers, but now this has become the place where they're living all year long. And her dad is a very well-known author who writes work that's sort of in the vein of Nicholas Sparks, and he's been feeling very uninspired and dealing with some depression, and he falls in love with fan fiction, which is really interesting. And at first I was like kind of unsure about it, and I didn't really read all the fan fiction parts in full, to be honest. But then the argument that Emma Mills created for the beauty and power of fan fiction and why it inspires the dad was really great. He was talking about how like all these readers are so invested in the world and the universe that they want to just keep creating more realities and opportunities for these characters they fell in love with that someone else created is really fascinating to me. I used to read Wattpad when I was younger and whatnot, so it was really fun. This definitely is more a story about friendship than it is about romance. It's about father-daughter relationships, and then it's about friendship. This girl's never really gotten close to anyone before too much, so she learns the beauty of friendship and getting close to people, which is really nice. And there is a bit of a love story in here. I do feel like the love story was a little lacking. It felt kind of like, oh, this needs to have a love story, so let's put one. I do wish that there would have been like more scenes between the main character and her love interest, so I could root for them even more. But overall, there are a lot of things about this I enjoyed, especially how much of a unique voice Emma Mills has. I feel like reading this, I was like, oh, only Emma Mills could have written this, which is, of course, such a great note for any writer to get. Really just like quirky dialogue, but not like quirky just to be quirky. You could tell very much like she's just created these like interesting, weird, quirky characters. I especially loved the interesting, quirky, weird dynamic between the main character and her dad. So yes, I did enjoy this. Finally, a book that I'm kind of itching to just reread, but I'm gonna hold off, is Foolish Hearts, also by Emma Mills. This book is about a girl who is in high school. I don't think, she might be a senior, I'm not sure. Yes, she is. A girl named Claudia in her senior year, and while at a party for a bunch of girls in her grade, she goes to an all-girls school, she witnesses a breakup between two people, and that causes her to have beef with one of the people in the ex-relationship. That girl's kind of considered a mean girl, but the two of them start becoming friends, and so this is definitely a story about like friendship, and which I see as a really prominent theme of Emma Mills' work, which is definitely really interesting to me. And these two girls, and along with other girls in the school and a bunch of guys at like the brother school, put on a performance of A Midsummer's Night, which is actually one of the only Shakespeare plays I haven't studied, but a lot of people really love it, and it was fascinating and enjoyable. And as a theater geek myself, I did theater throughout high school. It was just really fun to read, and I definitely like understood a lot of the things that were going on like a personal level, like memorizing lines and understanding your character and running around to put on like your costume changes and whatnot. So yeah, and another thing that I thought was done really, really, really well in this one is the romance. Like, Emma Mills really stepped it up. I really fell for the guy. Again, perfectly imperfect. The girl was perfectly imperfect. I really believed how much he liked her, and I really believed how little she believed that he could. Really great. Really just, you know, I don't know how many people know or remember this, but I'm a huge fan of Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. It's one of my all-time favorite YA romance novels, and it's really just been so hard for me to find something as good as that, and I'm on the hunt, but I feel like this comes kind of close. I just really enjoyed the romance in the story, and I thought it was really sweet, and I definitely want to give this a reread at some point. Plus, these covers are like so soft and fun to touch, so bonus points. Anyway, those are the books that I finished in April. Comment down below, let me know your recent read, what you're reading now, really whatever you want to tell me. Make sure to like and subscribe if you wish to. I'll leave some socials down below. Feel free to chat with me. We can talk books or whatever. And thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.